try to figure it out.
I landed in the world of Elden Ring with one goal in mind, to cure my daughter of her skin disease. And I'd step into the pits of hell to get it.
Can hardly sleep.
As a mighty Spartan, I succeeded in my quest. I retrieved the elixir of ambrosia, returned home to heal my daughter, and was promoted to the captain of the Spartans. This was merely the starting point. What was to come would change everything. With my promotion, I was on the path of war. Before I knew it, I found myself in a battle against the barbarians, overwhelmed by my opponent Elric. There was no other choice. I was going to have to call upon the gods for help.
Aries! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
He answered my call. With the Chaos Blades, victory was mine. But if you want to know how I actually got them, I just picked one up off the ground, and then for my second, did some off-camera mining. Once again, thank you, Aries. I'll probably come to regret that decision later, but let's not worry about that for now. It was time to travel through Leunited of the Lakes and meet E.G.
I am E.G., a blacksmith who once served the Carian royals.
He sold somber smithing stones, which would guarantee me level 4 weapons. Well, that would be the case if my weapons required them to level up. Instead, they needed the regular ones, and not these special versions, which I am for messing this up. Luckily for me, this was an easy fix. I could go ahead and go fuck myself. Hidden in the cliffside, there was a crystal tunnel. At the roots, the Crystallian boss. Putting my brand new weapons to use, I could destroy it, giving me the Miner's Bellbearing 1 for Infinite Smithing Stone 1 and 2s. So easy! Baby game. I could now upgrade both my weapons to +6, then finally grab my first talisman, the Shard of Alexander. I mean, this is war. There's gonna be some casualties. Speaking of, I could now seek out the demigod known as Maggot.
Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
You wanna know how I got this red marking across my face? It's a reminder to never show weakness and lose against the boss again. I would have one across my back and chest as well, but Elden Ring only lets you choose one tattoo per character. Maybe it's because the company is Japanese, and any more than one, and they'll think I'm the Yakuza or something. By the way, if you want to know how to get the flaming effect on these weapons, the Flaming Strike Ash of War is absolutely perfect for it. Deceived, I thought Maggot was a demigod, but it wasn't Maggot at all. It was my wife and daughter. Killing them would sever my last ties to humanity. Aries had constructed the perfect plan. I was now the top candidate for his rule, a monster who killed the ones he swore to protect. My skin turned pale white, reminding me of the mistake I had made. Restless, I started to have illusions as to what my future held.
Those blades. I know you. God Killer.
I set out to break my bond with Aries and hunt the gods of this world. By doing this, the Furies, in this case Godric, they kinda look alike, I guess. He tried imprisoning me in the Stormvale Castle. Me and Tylung, bro. We're low-key sharing the same fate being locked up like this. Silencing the guards. I came across a chest. Inside, the curved sword talisman. This was about to be massive. A talisman for curved weapons, and I have 2 of them. I was about to get... enhances guard counters. Oh no, it's fucking useless. How are you gonna make a talisman with the name Curved Sword, and then throw the biggest curveball in, and make it only affect guard counters? Outrageous behavior. Thankfully, there was also a useful talisman at this castle. The Claw Talisman, which enhances my jumping attacks.
Finally, some good fucking food.
Godric had waited enough. It was time to break my curse. I wish I could break my curse in real life. The curse of Tism. Yeah, that's enough live commentary. Okay, so lore-wise, Kratos breaks his bond with Aries by killing the Furies. And in this case, since Godric is a Fury, it means if I kill him, it should break my bond. I think, anyway. I'm not the most educated on the lore, so if I mess something up, let me know in the comments. And join my Discord too. I'm always active in there, so come say hello. With Godric bent over by my Chaos Blades, he transferred that bond to Orcos. Womp womp, buddy. The bond had to go, bruv. I was finally free of Aries. But the nightmares, they continued.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
That's when I came across Persephone. She offered me a choice. To regain my humanity and live with my daughter once more. But upon finding out she harbored furies... Wait a second. Who wrote this script, man? She wanted to destroy this world. Yeah, that's more like it. In order to save it, I had to crack this mother of... Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 13. I had to crack this mother of 13 children. 12 children. We all know how this fight works. To break Rellana's defenses, we have to kill her meat shields. Which is kinda messed up since, I don't know, they're her fucking children. You get a Chaos Blade, and you get a Chaos Blade, and you get a Chaos Blade. Everybody gets Chaos Blades. Ah, woo, the crowd goes wild. Phase 2. We run straight towards her giant beam because, well, we're simply him. Then hit her with the old equal rights, equal fights. Good old Gandhi. Or something like that anyway. Persephone defeated, the world saved. Exhausted from editing this, I drifted into a slumber, awaiting my fate.
Athena! 10 years, Athena. I have faithfully served the gods for 10 years. When will you relieve me of these nightmares?
We request one final task of you, Kratos. Your greatest challenge awaits in Athens, where even now my brother Aries lays siege. As we speak, Athens is on the verge of destruction. It is the will of Aries my great city fall. Zeus has forbidden the gods from waging war on each other. That is why it must be you, Kratos. Only a mortal trained by a god has a chance at defeating Ares.
And if I am able to do this, to kill a god, then the visions, they will end?
Complete this final task, and the past that consumes you will be forgiven.
I accepted because another mission meant more opportunities to get even stronger, baby. In a cave on the outer edge of the city, I could pick up the second smithing bellbearing. Plus 12 weapons. Look at that. Wow! Next, our wondrous physic. I'll be honest, I completely forgot this existed until about 5 minutes ago. Now we just have to get the tiers to use it. The flame cracked and green burst tier, both dropped by the same boss. Holy melt! Literally. Time to breach the capital. To get to Ares, I was first going to have to defeat his minions. The Tree Sentinel. Another tree sentinel. Can I get a ding sound effect? Yet another tree sentinel. One more time with the ding sound effect. And finally, a tree. Can I get a... Yeah, you get the gist of it. Before Aries, his second in command was waiting. Godfrey. Or the ghost of, anyway. Think I'm scared of you? You're not even real, buddy. As opposed to everything else in this video. This was a flawless fight. As I was saying, a hitless fight. The Pandora's box of this game was ripped wide open. Trying to merge the lore between the two had left me in a battle versus Morgoth. Aries, same thing. My Chaos Blades would be no use here. Instead, I would wield the Blade of the Gods. Aries' reign of terror was over. It was time to finish this. It was time to end. You lucky motherfucker. This showdown in the God of War game goes so hard. Keep in mind, at this point in time, Ares is the God of War. But that doesn't stop Kratos from ripping a freaking bridge out of the ground and using it to smack his ass around. That bridge then goes on to be known as the Sword of the Gods. Like, come on, man. What an absolute Chad move. Like, at what point you just have to accept defeat and call it, you know? Your opponent's all jacked up, ripping shit out of the floor and using it to fight you. Yeah, at that point I'm just dipping. It's kinda like what we're doing to Morgoth right now. Buddy can't do nothing. Oh, what a perfect stagger. I'm pretty confident this is GG's, my boy. Ares is finished. His throne empty, I claimed the seat and became the new God of War. But my story is far from over. The Ghost of Sparta was about to find out Damos, my brother, was still alive.
I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root.
Still void of the Chaos Blades, I was given my old Spartan gear. Finally! Why does everything have such a low drop rate in this game? Along with the shield I obtained earlier in the game, together again with D, we fought off the most wretched boss in Elden Ring. I can't believe it! Finally some good news for Kratos. How alive I feel to finally fight with my long-lost brother. Things were looking up for the new God of War, but just as quickly as I regained my brother, I was about to find out I could lose him just as fast. D! No! I wanna make a nuts joke so bad, but the timing is so wrong. In my Spartan rage, I slayed the remaining gargoyle. I wanted revenge. I took on what was left of the Darkroot depths. I was going to avenge my brother. The god of this place, Kratos Axe, was waiting. I always forget how great the atmosphere of this place is. Now this is where we have a real fight on our hands.
Ha! Prince of Death, take a good long look. See the wrath of the Golden Order, the Order's justice writ in blood. This is what's become of your precious witch. Naught but expired meat and bone. This is a proper death, O Prince. Look at this rotten whore. No more children can be got from this useless flesh. correct. Your mother is dead.
Those were Damos's final words. And I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I included them is because the way he says, "Your mother is dead," is absolutely hilarious to me. My warpath eventually led me to the mountaintops of the giants. And I know what you're all thinking. The big elephant in the room. That's one shiny ass head. The armor set, of course. The drip. This is the young lion set, which you can only get after beating Consort Radahn. So how did my dumbass get it? I beat Consort Radahn, of course. Get out! Since that's at the very end of the game, and I'd actually like to use this armor set before the video ends, I just spawned it in. It's not going to make a difference against the bosses, and it goes way too well with this build for it not to be used. And I'd quickly get to test that theory as the Colossus Giant was waiting.
Kratos, I offer you power. I offer you the Blade of Olympus.
From the heavens, Zeus sent down the Blade of Olympus. This one I actually got legit. He instructed me to channel my godly powers into the sword and beat the giant. So as I continue to sweep this man's ankles, showing him true pain, as if the scooter came back from rusting in your garden and continuously started ankle tapping you, the giant finally reveals himself as Zeus in disguise. What a twist in events! He crushes me, goth women take notes, and I lose to Zeus. I wake up in Farum. I had to change my fate. That meant seeking out the sisters, or in this case, condoms, who control the threads of destiny. It is my fate to beat the worst boss in Elden Ring without cheesing it. This is insanely rare for me. I can't remember the last time I fought this boss properly, and for good reason. It's pretty much B-Tech, Orenstein and Small. The sleep pot and bleed combo looking at me right now like beer and driving. The absolute dream. You can't have one without the other. You're probably thinking, hey, those are some cool incantations you have there. Well, let me tell you how I got them. I skipped the entire lore of God of War 2. Shh, don't question it. It had to happen. Because of this, I had some items that needed to be added to the build. Flame grant me strength to represent the rage of the Titans. Lightning Spear, because, well, it's Lightning Spear. And Fortis Axe's Lightning Spear, representing hell fucking yeah. Am I right, boys? With the brothers dead, I could change my fate. To rewind time and beat the giant.
Zeus!
We're running it back, baby! Your son has returned, and this time, I've come to win. The average reaction of finding out Zeus, the original Goon Lord, is your father. Yeah, just kill, bro. This fight felt way too easy. I was about to find out who I thought was Zeus was just a shell. His real body was elsewhere.
Zeus! Is this how you face me, coward?
In my rage, I was determined to kill Zeus. This god had declared war. That included everyone who defended Zeus. The first, Malekith, the god of death. That's what I'm gonna deliver to you, Malekith. My weapon type might be holy, the worst type in base game, but that just means prolonging this peak fight. I mean, could you imagine how cinema this battle would be if it were animated? War versus death. Two sides of the same coin, yet they duke it out. I'm getting way too hyped for this. But fuck it, we ball. Going so crazy. I'm about to start hyperventilating. I gotta calm down, man, before I start to pass out. What a fight, holy GG's.
To kill what?
Look who it is! Kratos, the ghost of Sparta. The fallen god. The cursed mortal.
To catch a fly from the ass of Zeus is not worth my time, Hermes.
Hermes, the god of ragebait.
Kill any family members lately? Oh, that's right. You're off to kill your father, Zeus. Won't happen. Can't happen.
This guy was memeing me left and right, and the worst part is, he was low-key succeeding at it. Oh, I hate this boss. As a fellow baiter. Okay, pause. I had to put some respect on the original. But of course, doing that to Kratos, yeah, it's not gonna end up well for you, bud. Oh, GG's. Take a teabag, buddy. Zeus was close. I could feel it in my balls. But suddenly, I was challenged by my half-brother, Hercules.
Tarnished warrior, spurned by the grace of gold, be assured the Elden Ring resteth close at hand.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. A straight-up brawl. To prove myself as the better brother, I went hand to hand with this beast. My weapon, the Newman Cestus, aka the Starfist. I haven't seen a family this messed up since I learned about the Rothschilds. God damn. First daddy issues and now this. Bro's got the backstory to start an OnlyFans. Okay, phase 2. The more difficult one for sure, but I think we got this in the bag. Oh, big stagger. And that should be game. GG's. Zeus was in sight. It was about time I took my revenge. The first phase of a 3-part fight had begun. His lightning phase. Zeus, your son has returned. Again. And I will bring the destruction of the Elden Ring. Oh, fuck, he's setting off a nuke. Sheesh, look at this cinema. Miyazaki, you've done it again. Nice. Very clean so far. I haven't fought this boss in a good while, so I'm a tad rusty. There's a golden rule in Elden Ring, and it sticks with me in times like this. It's really how you get good. That rule is, just don't die. Sounds simple enough. The first phase of Zeus was over, but the battle had just begun. He transformed into his more human form, and I took that personally. I tossed my weapon to the side and started throwing hands. Holy, I did not think these would be this good. They're just some spiked gloves, but we are melting, bro. I guess all of Kratos' rage is finally coming out. And my boy Zeus is getting absolutely cooked for it. In one final effort, Zeus transformed into an outer being, but it was no use. Kratos was already locked the fuck in.
The hands of death could not defeat me. The sisters of fate could not hold. And you will not see the end of this day. I will have my revenge!
It's been a while. Starting to look a little like my upload schedule. Okay, so, some things have changed. We're now Unk Kratos, my personal favorite. And here's everything I'm using for those of you who want the build. Now, since there's no... what's his name again? Oh yeah, that's right.
Boy.
The boy has gone missing. It was my goal to find him. Brainwashed by Miquella, there's a strong chance Artorias accompanies him. But to find them is another story. In hopes to find traces of my son, I set out to kill the sister of Miquella, the goddess of rot. However, it wasn't going to be that easy. Her home was protected by a spell. And that is how I broke the spell, by lighting 4 candles. Malenia might be a difficult boss, but I guess she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. I was now in the secret Erdtree, home of many foes. The first, Loretta. If Artorias were here, I'm sure he'd tell me to face Loretta whilst he took the horse. I mean, whilst he fought the horse. I know how bro can get around those things. If you know, you know. Alright, enough horsing around. Nice. We have a child to catch. Chris Hansen bursts into the room. Oh my god. I gotta work on my wording, man. Simple. GG's. The Erdtree. It came with the good and the bad. The good and now the bad. Why is there so much more bad? Elden Ring calls it perfectly balanced. I call it pain. The one delivering most of that pain, Malenia. Of course it's Malenia. Turns out she was also looking for Miquella. The boy was nowhere in sight, so in my anger, I launched a rock at her face. Swiftly moving on. Oh god damn. I don't know what happened to me during this fight. It was like I was possessed by the ghost of the game journalist. Because I just did not remember how to fight this boss. Just look at this. Why did I think this was a good idea? Have you ever seen such a glorious waterfowl dance dodge? And I know.
Death can have me when it earns me.
I just wish she could be a little gentle whilst handing my ass to me. All I have to do is put my skill issue on hold and beat the boss. It's so simple. I really wish I would have thought of that plan sooner. It was nice to have some sort of a challenge, because trust me, the DLC version of this build will annihilate absolutely everything. No, it's GG's. That was the worst time for her to pull Waterfall out. Oh, the 1 HP! The game is gifting me this win! I cannot believe I just got away with that. G frickin' G's. Unsure of where to go next, I came across a portal. This led me to Morgwyn's palace. Hidden behind him, a cocoon to travel between realms. I knew that this was the best chance at finding the boy. so I had no choice but to kill its defender. Once again, we're going bare fist before we get into the upgraded Chaos Blades. The Spiked Cestus has surprised me so much. I didn't think they'd be that good, but clearly I was wrong. I might even prefer them to the Star Fist, you know? Once they get going, you can really ramp up the damage with these bad boys. Passive bleed as well, along with a Frost Dash of War. Shee, they really do be cooking. Goodbye, Morg. Into the shadow of the Erdtree we go. Cursed to never part with them, I once again wielded the Chaos Blades. This time, instead of Serpent, I went with the double Magma Blades. I came across markings on a temple wall, depicting glimpses of my future and past. Although hard to decipher, I was confident they said, subscribe to Atomable. Yeah, they definitely said that. They also led the God of War to his first beast, the Divine Lion. Now let me show you why these Magma Blades were worth the 48 minutes I spent grinding to get them both to drop. Okay, let me get a good lineup for it. We jump, we attack, we do insane damage. That's without a single buff too. So the damage you can get when you really optimize these things, it's insane. Not that you need them, because what was that? Oh my god. We just took out like a fifth of his health in a single shot. I feel like I've just removed my bandages, along with it my power limiter. But I knew I could do better. So I dove into the depths of darkness to face the Putrescent Knight. If we can beat the Divine Lion that easily, then it's ropes for this guy. As I thought, you cooked, bud. 17,000 damage. This is actually so broken. And to style on him to finish it, so clean. That was something, alright. I was at the top of my game. Well, until I wasn't. Of course it's Rellana. Oh, visions of suffering ahead. Rellana is a real test for these weapons. You see, the way these things work is whilst jumping, you can get multi-hits against those bigger bosses. But against a smaller and more nimble boss like Rellana, those jump attacks are pretty tough to pull off. This might be the first and one of the only bosses we can't insta-melt. How did I just get away with not dying there? Oh my god. You're so lucky. Stop showing me your moons and come down. Oh my god, I think we found the strat. Ignore everything I just said. I must be yapping because these are the best things ever. Obviously, the Magma Blades are goated. But what happens when you face a boss who's resistant to all that fire damage? Well, we have a plan for that too. The axe isn't a terrible weapon by a long shot. We can proc frost in about 2 hits. But man, you can really feel the difference between a setup like this and an S tier one like the Magma Blades. This is when you could say, I had a eureka moment.
Eureka!
What if I use the frost from the axe to get those big damage ticks, then use the fire from the magma blades to instantly reset that frost proc, repeating until, well, I win. This is what I get for trying to be big brain. The strat will work, but trying to consistently press all those button outputs, whilst also not dying, yeah, I'm not Gino Machino, gang. I've said some sus stuff in these videos. You know, I'm no stranger to throwing a cheeky Melina feet quote out here and there. But getting cooked by Romina for the past hour? Yeah, this has to be the newest low for me. I know she's not the easiest boss, but I thought I was the god of war, not the god of elves. Yes! Yes! Oh my god. That took way longer than it should have. The boy. He was close. I could sense it. But first, I had to prove myself as the best. A Senator commander was lurking close by. I had to prove my worth before facing the god of gods. This is what I'm talking about, baby. The damage we deserve. We're so back. What a crazy phase 1. Kratos is angry. The beast inside is coming. I really had to ruin it, didn't I? Now that is how it's done. GG's. Just 2 remained. With a chance to finally be happy again, I pushed forward. The first fight, absolutely magnificent. Horn sent down. Dryleaf Dane was next. 17,000 damage. Leda was shook. It was almost too easy, but that's when I saw him. Every single moment had led up to this one point. From the weapons, to the bosses, and the jokes. It was all for this one final battle, to free me of my sins, and more importantly, get the boy back.
There's nowhere you can hide, Spartan. Put as much distance between you and the truth as you want. It changes nothing. Pretend to be everything you are not. Teacher, husband, father. But there is one unavoidable truth you will never escape. You cannot change. You will always be a monster.
I know. But I am your monster no longer.
And there we have it. Here's the entire build and the story of how I beat Elden Ring as the God of War.